I was very surprised to see headlines today revealing upcoming Blu-ray Steelbook releases for a handful of Disney Plus shows. I guess these are no longer exclusive? Yeah, this tactical release of films and shows onto 4K and Blu-ray is, in my opinion, a huge step in the right direction. It caters to various audience preferences, ensuring the viewer has options to experience content at its absolute best. Oh, and revenue, obviously. So on August 28th, 2023, pre-orders will be available for Season 1 and 2 of Star Wars The Mandalorian, some of the best Star Wars television, arguably. I find it amusing how Season 3 isn't here, but no doubt that will come at a later date, but like many, I wasn't a big fan of those episodes. On a more positive note, a couple of Marvel titles are getting released also. The entirety of WandaVision, which I really did enjoy, one I'd be interested in picking up for sure, and a fan favourite, Season 1 of Loki, a show that I did try to get into, and to be honest, I didn't really give this one a fair chance. I've heard great things about it, and the sci-fi elements do sound intriguing, so this is one I will likely grab also. Speaking of Loki, this will be the first title to release, which will be ready to ship out for September 26, 2023, with the rest of these shows to follow at later dates. And depending on the price, these sets do look as though they are worth adding to your collection. At the minute they appear to just be Steelbook editions, no standard Blu-rays, which for me personally, I'm not really a big Steelbook collector, but at the same time, I do really like the new artwork designed by Attila Saka. Definitely check out their Instagram, they have some absolutely beautiful movie-themed artwork and various Disney pieces as well, which if they do continue to work with Disney, I would love to see them produce more stuff in terms of physical releases for Steelbooks going forward. And on that similar note, if these releases are kept uniform with the same style, this could be the perfect collecting opportunity. Each set at the minute looks to have 2 discs complete with the brand new artwork, some limited edition art cards, and of course new bonus features as well, which will be a huge selling point in my opinion. I've always been a strong advocate for physical media, and like many, I argue in favour of having Blu-ray because streaming can really only get you so far in terms of quality. A completely digital age just isn't practical, where Blu-ray discs allow for a much sharper image, and with a higher bitrate, a disc can use more data, allowing for a clearer and more detailed image. And I did see a handful of articles not long ago showing how Disney wanted to lean back into this method of consuming content. And I've vocally expressed on the channel many times, there are pros and cons to having physical media, likewise with streaming content, and my argument mainly revolves around censorship, knowing that content that I have bought cannot be edited or changed, which is a huge relief. Case in point, the famous Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons, which has now essentially been book-burnt. These upcoming releases genuinely do look incredible, and hopefully this is the start of something new that becomes more relevant for both current and upcoming streaming shows, whether it's for Disney or outside of Disney. And when it comes to taking matters into one's own hands, I've even gone as far as making my own custom Blu-ray sets for certain shows, such as The Clone Wars and Star Wars Visions, which I've done videos on both of these on the channel if you are interested. And when it comes to stuff like that, one of the main draws really for me personally is having bonus features on Blu-ray discs. And that is going to be one of the major selling points in my opinion. It appears that these sets will include all new bonus content. I'm really surprised streaming services haven't really added bonus feature style content to their libraries. For example, giving you optional commentary tracks when playing an episode of a TV show like The Simpsons. There are some incredible commentaries for that show, but if they remain exclusive to just the DVD sets, it feels like a wasted opportunity where there's no advancement to adding them to streaming. Maybe it's not possible? Well, if that's the case, let's reinvent what worked before. Despite being in hot water for various ethical reasons, Disney CEO Bob Iger has mentioned physical media as an option for going forward in a handful of interviews, and with Disney Plus becoming a streaming titan in its own right, this is a prospect I can appreciate where branching out to different options for consuming content, in theory, is going to benefit the end user. and I found a great article from Media Play News which encapsulates the changes relevant to this discussion that Iger does hope to accomplish. And so to summarize, the Walt Disney Company is looking to reassess the all-in streaming idea. Iger reports that although profit margins in streaming are huge, they are losing out in other areas. And this mainly boils down to the lack of digital purchases, where Amazon and YouTube have cornered the marketplace for renting or one-off digital purchases, and of course physical media is not being given as much attention until now. Iger believes there is a marketing strategy that needs to be implemented, turning this loss into a gain for the company. And Iger uses the release of Avatar: The Way of Water as an example. Rather than adding this movie to the Disney Plus streaming catalog at no extra cost, it makes more sense for the company financially to release the movie for digital and physical purchase first. I've seen Warner do this with a select few titles, and even though the Warner situation is like that of a burning zoo with the whole merger drama, it is something that has become successful for them. And so instead of capitalizing on using a streaming service to release a new movie which everyone with a subscription can watch without paying anything extra, this does make sense for the company. You can argue it is perhaps unfair. However, Iger goes on to say that eventually, after a certain amount of time, these new titles will make their way to the streaming catalog. So subscribers aren't really losing out. You have the option to purchase a brand new title if you want it. If not, there is a forfeit of waiting for the Disney Plus release, which eventually will happen. You can infer that if they do make successful changes to the market of physical media, then other companies will follow suit to compete, wanting to offer similar products to ensure Disney is not dominating a specific marketplace. And some streaming content does thankfully get released physically, but not enough of it in my opinion. Warner have released a few titles. On the odd occasion, Netflix has put some of their content out long after the streaming release. Personally, I'm holding out hope for a Blu-ray release of Severance Season 1, which was rumoured to be coming out, but I'm unsure as to whether or not Apple TV will offer this for physical purchase. Fingers crossed they will, maybe as we get closer to the release of Season 2. Regardless, it's great to see a recognised demographic for this sort of content. Although it is statistically a very niche demographic purchasing physical media, there is a demand. There is a marketplace for Blu-ray and 4K discs. Digital purchases will go a long way for Disney, but making a lineup of special edition steelbooks complete with art cards and bonus content, people eat that stuff up. And providing these releases are reasonably priced and successful, which I'm hopeful they will be, we'll hopefully be seeing a lot more content made with Blu-ray in mind in the near future. Anyhow, that's going to do it for this discussion video looking at the future prospects of physical media from Disney. I hope you did enjoy. Please do leave me a like if you did. Comment below what other Disney Plus titles would you like to see released on Blu-ray and 4K. Personally, my number one choice is Andor Season 1, that would be an instant day one purchase, but let me know what you think. As always, I love hearing your thoughts and opinions. And for more content, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, DVD Review Studios.
Are you threatening me?